just so happy for them, our program. It's not often you get one top 5 win in a year, and when you get 2, and it's only January. That means something. So just really happy for them. They've leaned into losing some close games late, but not losing faith. I think it's made us vulnerable in a way with each other. I think that's a good thing. And they've just been a really good leader through that. Obviously, P has been a real difference maker, but just really happy for these guys. They earned that after really not shooting very well. It was just work. It was just work.
Courtney, you just mentioned not shooting well. I think it was 36%. What does that tell you in a game where you're playing a team that's as high-powered as they are, and you win a game while shooting that percentage? What does that tell you?
Yeah, it's just awesome. I told them at halftime. I said, your defense, it starts. I said before the game, it starts with the defense and it's going to end with the offense, right? And defensively, I thought we gave ourselves a chance. And I told them that at halftime. I like the shots you're getting. I need you to finish your layups. I need us to make threes. But your defense is keeping you in this game. And keep going, and finally some shots fall.
Notice the players didn't come out till about a minute and a half left in the halftime. Was it particularly long and fiery speech, or
I might have taken a long time figuring out kind of what we needed to kind of show them. So, but not really. We're usually about 3 minutes. Sometimes I don't give you as much time, but nothing in particular.
The defense obviously was a big deal today, and you made them shoot poorly. What did you all do? What was your aim, and how did it work out?
I think we do the best job that we can, showing them how they want to attack us, and then our guys just really locked in of like, okay, this is the cut there, this is where their openings are, and whatnot. And we sort of made our zone an amoeba, and so that which made them more connected on the both weak side on ball with our better hand engagement. And then we went man to man. I thought we were active. We've had some possessions of being stable cones off ball, and there were no cones out there tonight defensively. So it was just I'm really proud of them.
Coach, what can be seen from your team's performance from that initial loss at Michigan to now winning it?
Yeah, so the Michigan game is thankfully officially an anomaly. Right, that was sort of unacceptable in terms of our standard. I felt the last 3 were possession games. So if you're going to be in possession games, you got to find a way to win some of them, or don't be in them, right? And so when you obviously all saw how Virginia Tech ended. Same thing with Miami; it's tied under a minute. These are games that you could get in your feelings and say, "Oh gosh, look at our record," and we're just not going to do that. We know it's early. We've got a lot of good leadership. We're just going to focus on getting better. And give a lot of credit to our league. Our league gives us an opportunity for these competitive chances to have high-powered wins, and not a lot of bad losses. And so 2 top 5 wins, I like it.
Pauline, what got going for you in the fourth quarter when the game is tight and you seem to have a pretty good confident burst there at a key moment?
Again, I came in and I was just trying to do what I could to help the team win. So when I was open, I drove a shot and I tried to find my teammates, and I guess once the first shot went in, it was just easy from there on.
What's going through your mind when you scored the first 11 points of the fourth quarter, particularly when you look back to a few games ago when it wasn't going so well for you?
Well, I didn't know I did that, but it was nice. Again, I'm just trying to do whatever this team needs to win, and we pulled out a top 5 win, so I'm really happy about that.
Courtney, did you think it was organically that the points came to Paris, or were you aiming for her to?
I think the biggest thing with P is that we trust her, right? And so she doesn't go out there and just do her own thing, right? She goes out there and has a high level of communication with me and throughout the game. She has a high understanding of what we're trying to do. She learns by watching the team in front of her. She's not just at the game like y'all are. She's actually watching and how she can impact it. And she finds her spots. And I told her, no one's going to believe in you more than yourself. And this is a kid that believes in herself, right? And so you give her a layup or an angle to the rim, she's got some touch, right? If you don't think she's going to make threes, she can do that too. So I think she just is a basketball player, right? She's just a basketball player, right? You can, and I trust her. I think I've trusted her because of how she's handled it. I know this has been well told since the day she got here. The kid is, for a freshman, I really trust her. So I'm not surprised, and Deja's not surprised. I wouldn't have put her in if I didn't think she could help us.
And kind of building off of that, we were talking after the Virginia Tech game, and obviously Paulina had a great fourth quarter there. The game didn't turn out in y'all's favor. Just want to ask you, Deja, and also Coach Banghart, you could touch on what it was like to see her put up a similar, just a really excellent fourth quarter performance, and so much more in this game today.
Yeah, I think just, being able to have her come in off the bench and bring the energy and bring what she brings to this team. We see it every day in practice. So just to see it, flourish for her in game and help us out, I think that's really, it's exciting. Just being able to watch her. She's our only freshman, so just seeing that happen for her, it makes me really happy for her. But I'm really glad that, we have that spark off the bench.
In Deja, midway to the third quarter, you hit a jumper, and then you had a shot from three-point range. It bounced up and then went in. That seemed to turn the momentum of the game. Can you talk about that sequence?
Yeah, I guess I can describe, how I shot tonight, but we'll take it. Like I said, we'll take it. I think that definitely was a momentum changer. I think it was Toddy that found me in transition for the three, and it bounced in the way it did. But luckily, finally, we were like, finally. The whole bench, we were like, all right, we'll take it. But, I think that's just kind of how the game. P hit some really big shots that changed momentum. So did Alyssa. She hit that three. Destiny hit a three. I think all of those shots were timely, and our crowd was great. But it made the place explode for sure.
You kind of touched on it right there. This is probably easily the fullest and the loudest I've seen for my Can any of y'all talk about that?
I'm so happy for them. I think they, we do most of the work they do is in silence. Really, their individual work, their live work, and most of it's in silence. And when they get an opportunity to show their stuff in front of other people, and the crowd was helpful. They weren't just watching the game. They were not. My mother would be watching the game. But these guys were into it. And so I thought there were times where they willed us to victory, and that's what it's supposed to be. And it's just, it's one of those things. I said this last year. I said it to Dana. I don't pay attention to those things while they're happening. And it's a problem. So when Deja, with a minute left, kind of did that to the crowd, I was like, I just thank her for that moment because it reminded me to look around and look what we've built. Look what we're building.
For all three of you, obviously big to beat a top 5 team, but if you lose this game, that's 5 straight losses. And how huge is that for turning this season around? And what worrying about how it would be if you didn't win the game?
Yeah, we weren't letting that happen. So we knew that, and that has been the talk for the past few days after the Miami loss, that we weren't letting that happen. 4 was already enough, so we were cutting in at that, and we knew that we had to do whatever it took to get this win. So we weren't letting that happen. I'll just say that.
I say it a little different. Michigan again was unacceptable. The day I died, that game was completely unacceptable. No, nothing's going to make that okay for me. But the last 3, we've been better, right? And they're taking strides to get better. And so, I felt like the ACC is so solid, right? So if you lose to Notre Dame and now 0-3 or 4, I don't even know, in conference, you got the next one, and then you got the next one, and then you got the next one. So, obviously if I had to pick one, I'd rather beat Notre Dame because they're top 5 than beat Miami. So I guess it worked out.
Defensively, how did you guys prepare to go against Miles, and what did you guys tell them before the game, knowing that you were on?
Yeah, so I was at Princeton for 12 years, so I've known Miles for a long time. Miles and I spent a lot of time together. Recruited her a long time. We know her game really well. We wanted to make sure that we made her make active live decisions. So no cones, that was the first challenge, right? Hands up, right? And whether we were in zone, if we were in zone, we wanted to pressure her to make shots, right? If we were in man, we wanted to make sure we took away her vision. And so, again, the level of concentration these guys showed, they deserved it. They really adjusted to the various points of the game and how we wanted. But Miles is not a kid you stop. You slow, right? You slow. And we did a good job of slowing her.
Kind of also, just touching on the defense again, really crucial swing, obviously, in the third quarter. And you all held them to a lot of one-and-done possessions. I think we had 8 defensive rebounds compared to maybe 3 or 2 of their offensive rebounds in that period. Can you guys just talk to how important your defensive rebounding was in the game, in particular that swing?
Extremely important. That's been our emphasis in practice the past few weeks, honestly. I think we've gotten out rebounded our past few games, especially the ones we lost. And that's just, it hasn't been as important as it should be to us. So I think that's something we really locked into in practice, and especially this game, knowing that it was going to take all 5 on the defensive end. And we knew our posts had a tough job to deal with already with Evo and Watson down there. So us guards also, we were trying to help out as much as we could.
Hey, Courtney, can you talk about the matchup inside of Anya and Destiny dealing with a 6'4" wide-bodied center who really tough matchup, and they battled pretty well against her.
They sure did. I mean, Anya got, 8 rebounds and 14 minutes against that kid, and gave us a lot. Destiny's activity was, we've got a bunch of bigs that are different, and so every game is a little different. We needed Z's length against Kitley. I mean, it just depends, right? And I thought Destiny was huge. Her activity, her physicality, and willingness to not back down. And then Anya, willing to start the game and basically say, no, you're not getting easy stuff down here. That's not easy. Anya's about 6'2", and she just took that on like a grown woman, and it was huge.
Anything else?
One quick question. Yeah, Paulina wanted to ask you about that, like what you've been seeing from Anya and Alyssa in practices that really just paid off in this game defensively.
They work hard. I mean, it's not a mismatch, but like we're always the smaller team, mostly. But Alyssa and Anya every day in practice, they're fighting with the guys, trying to get over and just trying to be in the positions that they're supposed to be in. And I think that they do a great job, and then it always translates into the game.
Awesome.
Thanks,
guys.